Hey, it's Megan. Welcome back to another dollar store DIY video. This time, we are going over multiple ways you can decorate your outdoor or patio space using dollar store supplies. There are so many expensive items online when it comes to decorating outdoors, but it really doesn't have to be that way. In fact, I'm taking inspiration from higher end stores to recreate a very similar look for less than half the cost. And with all that said, we're getting started right now. This first idea, we are taking inspiration from multiple stores online ranging from $50 all the way up to $325 for these tiered planters. You don't have to pay anywhere near that, y'all. All you need to do is pick up 3 to 4 of Dollar Tree's metal planters and then poke drainage holes on the bottom. You can do that with a drill or even nails and a hammer. Then go to Dollar General and pick up 2 of their $1 wooden stakes. Y'all, these stakes are a steal of a deal. They are 3 feet long, real wood. They can go indoors or outdoors. So many DIY possibilities. So actually, I would suggest you pick up more than 2, but we only need 2 for this DIY. Then all you have to do is use a staple gun, small nails, or small screws to attach your planters to your wooden stakes. And that's it. Bada bing, bada boom, this DIY is done. Now, the cool thing is these metal planters can be easily spray painted to the color of your choice. I originally spray painted mine white, changed my mind and spray painted the whole thing black just because it goes better with my outdoor decor. But I do want to say this can be used year-round, indoors or outdoors. I think this would be great for organization. I can see this in a small bathroom, laundry room, craft room, or even a closet. Indoor and outdoor pillows can get super pricey, but even more fair-priced one, like these ones from Pottery Barn and West Elm, will seem like a fortune compared to what we're about to make. Check this out, y'all. All you need is 1 rug from Dollar Tree. These style comes in 3 different patterns, but you only need 1 rug to make 1 pillow. Start by removing the seams on each side of your rug. What that's going to do, it's going to give you an extra 1.5 to 3 inches on each side of the rug, which is now our pillow. So I'm going to refer to it as our pillow. Smooth out your fabric, fold it over, and then use a boatload of hot glue on high temp. You can use plain old regular hot glue for this. That's what I use. I actually use Walmart's generic brand of hot glue. It works great. The secret is let your hot glue totally cool before you flip it right side out. And I promise you that when it comes to this fabric, because it's woven, the hot glue is a really sturdy hold. So I'm going to pull on it as tight as I can just to prove to you that this is a very strong hold, but you can totally sew it if you want to. Whether you sewed your pillow or hot glued your pillow, the next step is to untie the tassels on our rug, aka our pillow, each side. Once it's untied, then you're going to tie them back together so you're connecting that side of the pillow. No hot glue or stitching is needed. Then all you have to do is fill your pillow. I suggest trying out old stuffed animals or maybe clothes that no longer fit you or your children. If you don't have any of that laying around, no worries, my friend. Dollar General sells $2 value pillows. 1 value pillow will fill 2 throw pillows. I made 2 pillows and my total cost was $2.50 at Dollar Tree for 2 rugs and $2 at Dollar General for 1 value pillow. So for $4.50, I have 2 beautiful lumbar pillows. I love the way these look. These are nice quality. They're going to last a long time. If you're worried about the hot glue, I hope I can put your mind at ease by letting you know that 3 years ago, I made 2 other throw pillows. I hot glued them together. I live in Texas. Through the ice storm, through the 110-degree heat, these have held up fine outdoors. I never bring them inside. Okay, so I'm probably the most excited about this DIY. West Elm Pottery Barn, they want you to pay over $100 for a super large lantern. But guess what? We can make the same thing for a heck of a lot less money. This time you need to pick up 4 of Dollar General's $1 wooden stakes, 3 feet long, mark it down to about 6 inches, and then cut it down with a saw. I'm using a handsaw. I actually have a miter saw, electric miter saw, but a handsaw works fine, just fine for this. The wood's thin enough, it's only about 1 inch thick, and it's really easy to cut. After you cut your first piece, you're going to use that as your marker for the rest of your pieces. So 1 stake, you're going to cut down 2 6-inch pieces, and then you're going to have 1 longer piece left over. You're going to repeat that on the remaining 3 stakes. So you'll have 8 pieces at 6 inches, and then you'll have the leftover longer 4 pieces. I hope I didn't confuse you there. I tried my best to show clearly and explain it clearly what I'm doing, but I think you'll get the idea. Then you just need some wood glue, and not necessary, but it definitely helps if you pick up a square. You can grab a square at Dollar Tree along with the wood glue if you don't already have one. This is just really going to help to get that nice, clean 90-degree angle. Use your wood glue to connect your pieces together. You're going to make a large rectangle. And after that rectangle dries, you're going to repeat those steps and you're going to make another rectangle. So you should have 2 rectangles and then 4 of the 6-inch wood pieces left over. All you have to do now, though, is use your wood glue to connect your 4 6-inch wood pieces to your first rectangle and then add your second rectangle. And now you're going to have your lantern. At this point, you want to really make sure that you let the wood glue cure at least overnight. And you may need to use something heavy to make sure the wood pieces stay flush to each other. That's what I had to do. No worries, no problem. Wood bends and moves. That's totally normal. And that's it. It's done. You can leave it solid wood or stain it, or like I did, you can totally spray paint it. If you are going to stain it or even paint it, make sure you seal it if you're going to put it outside just to make it last longer. And I love the way this turned out. I want to make another one. I think this is great indoors or outdoors. It works with every style, whether you're modern, glam, farmhouse, rustic, boho. It doesn't matter. I think it works with everyone. This next idea is another West Elm inspiration, and it's another idea that can go with any style, and it can be totally customized to fit your liking. West Elm wants $150, but you won't even need to pay like 1/10 of that price. So ideally, you need to pick up one of these solid wood planks from Dollar Tree. If you can't find that, then snatch up one of their wood planks that have a cutout at the top. That's what I had to do. My store was not in stock with the solid wood planks when I made this, but it doesn't matter. Either way, whatever you can grab up, grab that and one of their wood boxes. Use wood glue to attach your box to the bottom of your plank or to at least cover up your little cutout part at the top. And then if you're like me and you had to get a cutout piece, just use your handsaw and then cut that piece off. Really easy. This is real time. Took me less than a minute to do it. And then you can just paint it to the color of your choice. I would say that you could stain the wood just the same, but honestly, I haven't tried staining the wood planks before. I've stained the wood boxes. That turned out great, but I have no idea how the stain turns out on the wood planks. So if you have, let us know in the comments because it may help a fellow crafter out. Then you can use your Cricut machine or you can hand paint or just buy metal letters at Home Depot to attach that to your plank. And if you used a cutout wooden plank like I did, you'll have to drill holes back at the top of your wooden plank. If you don't have a drill, I highly suggest you just get a cheap, small little crafting drill. You can get them for like $20 at Walmart, in stores or online. I'll have it linked in the description below, but just know you can walk into Walmart today and they'll most likely have like a $20 drill. It's no bigger than your hot glue gun, so don't be scared to use it. I would highly suggest sealing your number box flower planter, I don't even know what it's called, but your flower planter with house numbers with a sealant, like a clear spray paint or a paint on clear sealant. It's just going to make it last a lot longer. You don't have to, but don't expect it to last much longer than one season if you don't. And I love the way this looks. Seriously, I think this is gorgeous. It definitely looks more than the $5 to $10 we spent on it, depending on what you have on hand. And it does look handmade, but handmade in a good way, if that makes sense. This next idea is inspired by these little side tables I saw online on West Elm and then Overstock. I loved Overstock because not only was it a end table, it also had storage, which gave me an idea. We're going to use a technique you've probably seen done before on TikTok or YouTube, where you just take a bunch of green wreath forms and glue them together. But we're going to put our own twist on it. So glue your green wreath forms together and then paint them the color of your choice. Do not spray paint them unless you seal them first or do a primer coat first. The spray paint will totally melt the foam. After that's all said and done, snatch up one of Dollar Tree's waste baskets, cut off the top ring, and then you can easily slide that basket right into your wreath forms, which is now our side table / storage container / planter. You can hot glue if you want, but it's not really necessary. It is a nice snug fit. And then this is also optional. I spray painted mine with the stone texture from Rust-Oleum. I've had this can for over a year. A little bit goes a very long way, but you don't have to do that. You can just spray paint it one solid color. And then to top mine off, so it's a nice solid lid, I went to Dollar Tree, the plus section, and grabbed a $5 wood round and then sealed the whole thing with the clear sealant spray paint. The same clear sealant spray paint I'm using for almost this entire video. And I love these. I loved it so much I made two. It's a cool little end table. I did two sizes, two tiered. But what I really love about it is the storage. And the mesh part makes it great where you can put a plant in there, or you can put your gardening tools in there. You can put stuff in there and it can let it air out and drain. Perfect for outdoor use. And I just want to reiterate one last time that you really do want to seal your outdoor items. Whether they're DIYs or store-bought, it's really just going to make them last a lot longer. It seemed like the past 5 or 6 years, lemons were really in style, and now it seems like watermelons are like the hot thing. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just noticing more watermelons. But anyways, I was looking online for an outdoor watermelon rug. What I came across, the prices weren't bad, but the rug itself was too small and the texture just wasn't quite right. But we can make our own for cheaper, and it's going to look, in my personal 100% biased opinion, better. Just tape 2 Dollar Tree doormats together. It doesn't matter the style. They don't even have to match. They just need to be the same size. Tape them together, then use something round. I used a hula hoop to trace out a half circle. After you trace out your half circle, do not throw away the extra pieces. Tape those on the side to expand your rug even more. Then grab some rope. It doesn't matter what rope either. You can use Dollar Tree's nautical rope. You can use the white rope. I like to buy rope off Amazon, but the best deal's probably going to be Dollar General. For $4, you get 100 feet. And for this DIY, depending on the size of rope you use, you will need about 250 to 350 feet of rope. So Dollar General is probably going to be the best deal in this situation. Just start wrapping your rope all the way around your rug. After you get a few rows done, skip a few rows and start wrapping again and just finish it off with rope. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, not much explanation needed. You don't need to use different colors of rope. I just did that. I wanted to use up the rope I had on hand, and I thought it'd be easier to show on camera. Then you can hand paint or spray paint your rug. I always prefer spray painting. Spray painting's so quick and easy, and it holds up really well outside. So spray paint the middle red or pink and the outside green. That's it. Then you just go back and add your last piece of rope. You can use Dollar Tree's $1 white nautical rope for this. It looks beautiful, but you could also use the light brown regular rope. That would look fine just the same. For the little seeds in the watermelon, you can use chalk paint. Really, you can use whatever paint you want. I think the best paint for outdoor rugs is spray paint 1, and second, puff paint, which is sold at Dollar Tree, by the way. Spray paint is great for large area coverings for rugs, but the puff paint, when it hardens, it's not going to fade or leak or stain or run. It stays in place. It almost becomes a part of the, it does become a part of the rug. And puff paint is great for the small detail paintings on rugs. So even though we didn't save too much money DIYing our rug, we still did save some money, and I personally love the texture better. But on top of that, our rug is wider than all the rugs I saw online. All the ones I saw online were only 24 inches wide. Our rug is actually 3 feet wide. So there you go. Still a win in my book. I wanted a larger rug for outdoors. And if you're wanting to see more $1 or dollar store DIY videos, I'll have my top 20 DIY video from last year linked in the description, and you should also be seeing it popping up on the screen to your right or to your left. And that is it, my friend. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you next time.